The standard teacher's uniform, a red blouse with blue pants, hung loose on her petite frame. "Gather around, girls!" The band stopped playing, and the air was filled with the sounds of the outside forest. I felt the metal whistle around my neck, thankful to have it should any creature broach the compound wall. Even after all these years at school, I never got used to hearing the dogfights, the distant rat-a-tat-tat of machine guns, the horrible whining of deer being eaten alive. Headmistress Burns hobbled over and took the medal from Teacher Florence's hand. "Now, now, let us begin," she cried, as the 4012th years lined up to watch. Ruby, our other best friend, stood on her tiptoes to see. "You've all worked very hard during your time at school, and perhaps no one has worked as hard as Eve." She turned to me as she said this. The skin on her face was wrinkled and loose, forming slight jowls. "Eve has proven to be one of the best, brightest students we've taught here. By the power given to me by the King of the New America, I present her with the Medal of Achievement." As headmistress pressed the cold medallion into my hands, all the girls clapped. Pip added a shrieking finger whistle for good measure. "Thank you," I said softly. I glanced along the long, moat-like lake, which stretched from one side of the wall to the other. My gaze settled on the giant, windowless building beyond it. The following day, after I gave my valedictory speech in front of the entire school, the guards across the lake would extend a bridge, and the graduating class would follow behind me, single file, to the other side. There, in that massive structure, we would begin learning our trades. I'd spent so many years studying, perfecting my Latin, my writing, my painting. I'd spent hours at the piano, learning Mozart and Beethoven, always with that building off in the distance, the ultimate goal. Sophia, the valedictorian of 3 years ago, had stood at that same podium, reading her speech about our great responsibility as the future leaders of the new America. She spoke about becoming a doctor and how she would work to prevent future plagues. By now she was probably saving lives in the king's capital, the City of Sand. They said he'd restored a city in the desert. I couldn't wait to get there. I wanted to be an artist, to paint portraits like Frida Kahlo or surreal dreamscapes like Magritte, frescoed across the city's great walls. Teacher Florence rested her hand on my back. "You embody the new America, Eve. Intelligence, hard work, and beauty. We're so proud of you." The band started a much livelier song, and Ruby belted out the lyrics. The girls on the lawn laughed and danced, swinging each other around and around and around until they were dizzy. "Go on, eat some more." Headmistress Burns nudged Violet, a shorter girl with black almond-shaped eyes, toward the food table. "What's her problem?" Pip asked, sidling up beside me. She took the medal in her hands to get a closer look. "You know, Headmistress," I started, about to remind Pip that our head of school was 75, arthritic, and had lost her entire family when the plague finally ended 12 years ago. But Pip shook her head. "Not her. Her." Arden was the only 12th year not celebrating. She leaned against the wall of the dormitory, arms crossed. Even in the unflattering gray jumper with the crest of the new American monarchy sewn over her chest, even scowling, she was still beautiful. While most of the girls in school kept their hair long, she'd chopped her black mane into a short bob, making her fair skin look even fairer. Her hazel eyes were flecked with gold. "She's up to something, I know it," I told Pip, not taking my eyes off her. "She always is." Pip ran her fingers over the smooth medallion. "Someone saw her swimming across the lake," she whispered. "Swimming? I doubt that. No one in the compound could swim. We'd never been taught." Pip shrugged. "Who knows with her?" While most of the 12th years had come to school at 5 years old, after the plague ended, Arden had arrived at school at 8, so there had always been something different about her.